Welcome to the Sale Guru Show. I'm sitting down for this one. I've been doing a lot of shows standing because this is so exciting. We'll review the Moto Edge 20 Pro, flagship Motorola device, successor to the Moto Edge Plus. Great performance across the board, super aggressive Motorola. Then we'll move on to another one that is fantastic. The iQoo Z5, cheapest Snapdragon 778G enabled smartphone. Great performance to price ratio, and this is a great gaming phone too. Then a long-term review of the Z Flip and Fold 3 from Samsung, and joining me, Alia Bhatt. So our top story today is the Moto Edge 20 Pro. Now this is Motorola getting super aggressive. So great specs, great looks, like for instance, glass back with aluminium frame, 190 grams, 8mm sleek, great screen, 10-bit OLED display, 6.7 inch, very good refresh rate, very good touch sampling rate for gamers, a powerful Snapdragon 870, 8GB RAM, 128GB storage, that clean Motorola Android interface, triple camera setup, 108 megapixel sensor, 16 megapixel ultra wide and 8 megapixel periscope lens. Good battery, good charger, and like I said, this is Motorola at its best. Super aggressive, 37,000 rupees.
Motorola's Edge series appears to have lost some of the initial meaning behind the name, as the pair of original Edge handsets from last year had curved screens. The 2021 models are all flat. But looking at the spec sheet, the Edge 20 Pro is certainly well worthy of its Pro moniker. This is the successor to the Motorola Edge Plus from last year. And just like it, it is a nice upper mid-range device. The Motorola Edge 20 Pro has great performance, nice build quality, excellent display, and its cameras offer solid performance. So is this the year Motorola has finally nailed the recipe of the best mid-range smartphone to buy? Find out in our review. Straight out of the box, you can tell the Motorola Edge 20 Pro sits at the top of their range of smartphones, as it has got an air of class to it that most Motorola phones lack. We got our hands on the midnight blue version, which looks good and has a matte reflective finish. The Edge 20 Pro has a curved glass back with an aluminium frame that feels good in the hand and provides a better grip. This is important because the phone weighs 190 grams. And while this doesn't make it the heaviest phone out there, it isn't the lightest either. Both the front and back are made with Corning Gorilla Glass 5, which makes it a relatively sturdy phone. Unlike other recent flagship phones, the Motorola Edge 20 Pro only has an IP52 water repellent rating, so users should be extra careful not to drop it in the water. Things that Motorola decided to skip are the 3.5mm headphone jack and a micro SD expansion slot, which is quite a rare turn for Moto phones. Overall, the Edge 20 Pro is a well-built phone that uses quality materials and has a nice fit and finish. With a 6.7-inch edge-to-edge OLED display, the Motorola Edge 20 Pro offers quite a bit of viewing real estate. Unlike on the last-gen models, the screen is flat all the way to the edges and is broken up by a circular cutout for the front camera. With a Full HD Plus resolution and one of the few phones to come up with 10-bit panel, the screen is sharp, bright and colorful. Watching videos and consuming content is a pleasure, all thanks to the HDR10 Plus support, which enhances the color and contrast to boost the overall viewing experience. The strongest trait of this display is its very high 144Hz refresh rate, which makes scrolling and swiping through the user interface feel silky smooth and flicking through web pages satisfying. What compromises the overall media experience is the lack of stereo speakers, as the Edge 20 Pro only has a single bottom-firing speaker. This is a big disappointment, as almost every smartphone in this price range has stereo speakers. Under the hood, the Motorola Edge 20 Pro packs in the high-end Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 chipset paired with 8GB RAM and 128GB storage. Although this isn't top of the line and as powerful as Snapdragon 888, most people won't notice a difference. What this translates to in real life is that the device offers great performance in every task you throw at it. Multitasking and juggling between apps are a breeze on the Edge 20 Pro. Even when thrown the heaviest of games, Edge 20 Pro impressed us with staying almost cool to the touch. This phone also has a 576Hz touch sampling rate, which makes it perfect for intense gaming. Like all Motorola phones, the Edge 20 Pro uses a clean version of Google's Android operating system, with the device running Android 11 out of the box. Motorola is also promising 2 years of Android and security updates, which is a welcome move. The Motorola Edge 20 Pro has a triple camera setup with a 108-megapixel main sensor, 16-megapixel ultra-wide and 8-megapixel telephoto lens. The photos from the main camera look great. They offer plenty of detail, accurate exposure and good focus. We only wish the photos were a bit more saturated and colorful as in real life. The 16-megapixel ultra-wide camera produces nice pictures with plenty of detail and a good field of view. This also doubles as a macro camera. The macro pictures look great and offer plenty of detail, with the only shortcoming in focusing. The 8-megapixel 5x zoom periscope camera is a nice addition to the setup. This sensor produces good and sharp enough results. This is the only camera with optical image stabilization, which helps it a lot when zooming. Overall, the periscope camera does its job well as long as you give it enough light. The Motorola Edge 20 Pro's 4500 mAh battery does its job, and we found the phone to generally last a day between charges. The only downside this phone has in the battery department is its 30-watt wired charging, which is far from the best in class. Priced at 36,999 rupees, the Motorola Edge 20 Pro might be Motorola's flagship handset for this year, but it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles you get from other flagships. Despite that, the fast performance, the massive and fast 144Hz refresh rate, and the long-lasting battery do make it a pretty convincing piece of kit, and it pleasantly surprised us by how well it performs across the board.
So a lot of people saying that the Motorola Edge 20 Pro may be the best phone under 40K. Do let us know if you think so. But a phone around 20,000, the iQoo Z5 is up next. Polycarbonate plastic back, 193 grams, 6.67-inch IPS LCD display, 120Hz refresh rate, headphone jack, which we love, Snapdragon 778. You can go with 8 or 12 GB of RAM, liquid cooling and 4D gaming vibrations. We love these two features. Really, really fantastic. Triple camera setup. We were okay with the camera. It's got a good camera, not great. It's got 5G. It's got a 5000 mAh battery, 44-watt fast charging. Now the price starts at 23,990, but right now the offers are fantastic. You can get it for around 20,000 rupees.
iQoo made a solid comeback to the Indian market in 2021 with its iQoo 7 series. Met with mostly rave reviews from the tech community, both the iQoo 7 and iQoo 7 Legend have established themselves as arguably the best options from 30 to 40K. And now, with the iQoo Z5, the brand has decided to continue this momentum to capture the mid-range segment. With impressive specs they have managed to pack in while keeping the price affordable, it does sound like iQoo has another winner at their hands. Is the search for the best mid-range smartphone finally over? We answered this in our Cell Guru review. The iQoo Z5 features a polycarbonate back panel with a plastic frame, which is usual in this category of smartphones. With deep blue and black tones, the textured matte back panel feels good to touch, with the best part being it does not attract smudges or fingerprints. Holding the phone is a comfortable affair even for longer intervals, thanks to 193 grams and good weight distribution. The iQoo Z5 employs the same side fingerprint design as the previous model iQoo Z3. The side-mounted fingerprint has been recessed, and in practice, it is really quick and simple to open in a matter of seconds. Sadly, the iQoo Z5 does skimp on an IP rating, but if it is any consolation, it does feature a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is a rare sight these days. On the front, the smartphone flaunts a 6.67-inch IPS LCD display with slim bezels and a punch-hole selfie cutout. Watching movies and consuming media content is pleasing, with the only caveat being you miss the contrast and brightness levels of an AMOLED panel. You also get stereo speakers, which add to the overall media experience. High refresh screen is a prerequisite these days, and iQoo Z5 does deliver on that front. 120Hz refresh rate and a touch sampling rate of 240Hz helps users achieve more detailed and smooth visuals, whether flicking through web pages or gameplay. We also did not face any difficulty with the brightness of the smartphone when viewed from different angles under direct sunlight. On the performance front, the iQoo Z5 is equipped with a Snapdragon 778G processor, which is a powerful mid-range chipset that comes very close to the 8 series of processors. Factor in the 12GB of DDR5 RAM and 256GB fast UFS 3.1 storage, everything feels fast and fluid even when opening multiple apps and heavy multitasking. Gaming is another aspect where iQoo devices shine, and this one is no different. There are a plethora of gaming features such as 4D game vibration and liquid cooling technology for heat reduction, ensuring a truly immersive and long-lasting gaming experience. We did not experience any frame drops when playing our favorite games for longer durations. The iQoo Z5 features a triple rear camera setup with a primary 64-megapixel main sensor, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide unit, and a 2-megapixel macro sensor. The main sensor is capable of producing well-detailed and color-accurate images, with the only drawback being low dynamic range. The ultra-wide does a decent job of capturing more in the frame, but images are soft and distorted around the edges. The macro sensor has a hard time focusing on close-up subjects owing to its low megapixel count. The 16-megapixel selfie shooter will satisfy your various selfie needs and supports various modes. The iQoo Z5 comes equipped with a massive 5000 mAh battery that can last users for almost a day of medium to heavy usage. Charging duties are done by a 44-watt fast charger that comes in a box, but we wish that a 55-watt charger was included as done previously with the much affordable iQoo Z3. At 26,990 rupees, the iQoo Z5 is a competent device for users searching for a powerful processor, good gaming performance, and battery life, but suffers from subpar cameras. The smartphone stands strong in the mid-range segment, but competitors may provide a little more bang for your money.
Now let's move on to something we've all been waiting for. We've been wanting to do this for a while. The long-term review of the Samsung Flip and Fold 3. And joining me will be Alia Bhatt, who's been using these phones. So we'll get to know from her what her long-term review is also. So let me remind you quickly. Z Flip 3 compact form factor, 4.2 inches when folded, really nice and big when it opens, 120Hz AMOLED display, very nice main screen, durability is up, big cover screen with added functionality now. So that small one is gone. IPX8 water resistance, and it's priced at about 85,000 rupees. And then we'll move on to the Fold 3, the phone that I really enjoy using. The Fold 3 transforms from a 6.2-inch handset to a 7.6-inch absolute tablet, 120Hz, S Pen, IPX8 under display camera, which we thought actually wasn't that good, but it worked quite well. It's also priced a little bit more aggressively now, so it's starting to make a lot of sense. So that's our overall quick look at it. Let's talk to Alia Bhatt, and then I'll wrap it up with my final long-term review. Hi Alia, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. I've been looking forward to having this conversation.
Thank you for having me, Rajiv.
So it seems like Christmas has come in early for Samsung. What do you think of the new Fold 3 and its incredible innovations?
I think it's fabulous, and innovative being the key word. There's so many firsts in the Fold 3. The world's first under-display camera on a foldable immersive viewing. First water-resistant foldable smartphone, the world's first foldable with S Pen for like easy note-taking, multitasking. You know, it helps you when you're traveling, whether you're working, whether you're, in the shower, because it's water-resistant. So it's actually really, really practical and really helpful.
Okay, so that's the Fold 3 for you. You've been using it for a while, and I like the fact that you've wrapped it up well. Now, what do you like the most about the Flip 3?
Well, the Flip 3 is so cute, firstly. It's super compact, so it fits anywhere. It's light. I love the colors. I love the fact that it's so easy for us to take selfies. You can quickly check your messages. You can quickly answer the call also and speak on speakerphone. You can take selfies while the phone is shut, while the phone is open. It's super stylish, and I can go on and on. It matches my look, it matches my mood, it matches my style.
Okay, so Alia, tell me, are foldable phones the future? You've been using two of the best ones out there, and you've been using it for a while. So do you think these are really the future now?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, definitely it's, like I said, it's very practical, but it's also very stylish. The large screen for the Fold, you can watch content so nicely, like, the content really pops as opposed to a smaller screen. It's like a tablet and a phone in one. the hands-free video calling, the hands-free selfies. As we know, selfies ain't going anywhere, so you need to make it more and more easy for us to take them. It's fashionable and stylish, and yeah, truly one of a kind.
Thank you so much, Alia. Thank you for joining me on the show. I look forward to catching up with you in real very, very soon.
Thank you.
So that then was my long-term review. Let's take a quick break right now and we come back. Lots more happening. I totally love the Fold 3. I think it's a dramatic jump over the Fold 2. So many things to like about that phone. And I have to say that once you go into foldable phones that actually become that big, it's very difficult to go back to a normal phone. I've been struggling with that. These phones have to go back. They come for a review. But I've been struggling with it and not looking forward to when the Fold 3 goes back. And the Flip, I think the Flip has now really become a great phone. So it's got a good price for a foldable phone, around 80,000 rupees. Great offers that I keep coming up on that. It's very robust. The outer screen is quite well done. I haven't found any real negative to the Flip 3 at all. I think it's a very well done. So this is Samsung now getting really mature with their foldable phones.
A famous science fiction writer once said that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 and Z Fold 3 are a rare example of such a technology where even after weeks of use, the technological advancement never ceases to astound. A lot has been said about the transforming form factor of the Galaxy Z Flip and the Z Fold 3. But seeing is believing, and using the phones is truly convincing. Targeting two completely different user groups, the two foldable phones take a diametrically different approach towards user experience. Take for example the Z Flip 3. As candy bar phones keep getting bigger and bigger, the flip style design makes the device fit perfectly in the pocket of your jeans, a shirt pocket, the palm of your hand, or even while using it in one hand. But the convenient size might make you think that you will have to pop open the display all the time. That's where one of the biggest improvements comes in, and that's the larger display on the outside of the phone. This screen enables quick access to notifications but also lets you act upon them. During our time with the phone, we found ourselves increasingly using the outside display for most interactions without even flipping open the Z Flip 3. If you have been trying to curb your smartphone use, it doesn't get much better than this. The Z Fold 3 on the other hand is all about the productive life. While the full-size edge-to-edge 6.2-inch outer display is perfectly sized for daily use, that's not what you buy a Fold for. The sheer convenience of unfolding the phone to reveal a massive 7.6-inch canvas enables new user experiences. Sure, it's always been possible to read a book or magazine on your phone, but the screen has never been convenient. The Fold 3 fixes that problem. And if productivity is your thing, the Z Fold 3 gets closer to a desktop-like experience than a phone ever has. You can easily pop open 2 or even 3 apps simultaneously. The addition of S Pen support is another nod towards productivity, and the Z Fold 3 has quickly become a note-taking device of choice. If you truly want to kick things up a notch, the Z Fold 3 even supports DeX mode to turn your phone into a full-fledged desktop computer. Backing all that up is the top-of-the-line power. Both phones are running on Snapdragon 888 processor, which makes sure that the phones never skip a beat. We didn't observe any significant heating issues, though the Z Flip 3 can get a bit warm around the cameras. This brings us to the negatives. No phone is perfect, and the Z Flip 3 and the Z Fold 3 Duo aren't either. One of our issues with the phones is with the cameras. Despite being some of Samsung's highest-end devices, the cameras on the Z Flip 3 and the Fold 3 lag behind those of the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Not only do you miss out on the incredible zoom capabilities, but image quality isn't up there with the absolute best in the segment. Meanwhile, on the Z Flip 3, battery life can be a hit or miss. Getting through a full day of use is possible, but will require your careful management. Despite the issues, priced at 84,999 rupees and 1,49,999 rupees, the Z Flip 3 and the Z Fold 3 are some of the best phones you can get on the market today. That's less to do with the spec sheets and more with the experience. This year, Samsung has managed to refine the hardware to a sheen, and a couple of days of use in, the folding experience becomes second nature. And once you've experienced the magic, you just can't go back.
That then was the Cell Guru show for this week. But do remember, lots happening next week on the show.